Good morning everyone, how's your day? Good, well that's great. Please arrange your chairs now. Okay, before we begin the class, let us have our prayer first. Miss Magadan, could you please lead the opening prayer? Okay, let us stand up. Amen. Thank you, you may now sit so we can check your attendance for today's session. Okay, please raise your right hand and say present once I call your surname. Okay, let us begin with Aranelia. Present. Okay, let us proceed. You're 40 all in all, and I'd like to divide you into 8 groups for our activities for today. Mr. Venj Malu-ay grouped his 40 students into 8, and one of these groups would be asked about the topic they've discussed last meeting. Okay, from this group, I want to ask what was our last topic? Okay, that's right. We talked about modal auxiliaries. Okay, that's very good. And I want to ask from this group as well. Could someone tell me what is modal auxiliaries and how it differs to auxiliary verbs? Very good. That's right. Modal verbs or modal auxiliaries are a type of auxiliary verbs. That's correct. Now from this third group, yes, you, please give me at least 2 examples of sentence that uses modal auxiliaries in it. Oh, that's perfect. You really did learn something from our discussion last session. Thank you so much for that. Now, do you want to play a game? Yes? I know. Well, this is called Word Scramble. Listen, because within 5 minutes, I want each group to complete the task. So what you're going to do is to list all words you can form from the word breakfast. As you can see here, again, each group must list all words you can form from the word breakfast. You can use 1/2 lengthwise to do this. And I'd like to inform you that there are 288 total of words we can make out by unscrambling the letters in breakfast. Well, let us see how many you can. Are you ready? Okay, everybody seems ready now. In 3, 2, 1, you may now start. The students are expected to form words such as break, fake, take, rake, fate, sat, bat, fat, rat, fast, bet, set, eat, beat, beast, seat, feast, etc. After the game, all 8 groups will construct sentences using the words they had formed. Okay, time's up. Pass your papers now. Well, you really did a great job, huh? You'll gain extra points for this activity. Congratulations, everyone. Woo! Okay, so now please settle down so we could proceed to our next topic for today's session. Okay, our topic for today would be all about sentences. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand the elements and kinds of sentences, perform a declamation that is in accordance with sentence function and structure. I already gave you the script, didn't I? And lastly, you should be able to appreciate the importance of subject-verb agreement as your learning takeaway today and use this in day-to-day basis. Okay, so now, what is sentence for your class? Anyone could raise a hand? Yes, Mr. Mears, you're raising your hand. That's correct. Very good. Like what you just did a while ago, those are examples of sentences, right? Mr. Venj Malu-ay would value his students' work and utilize those sentences throughout the discussion. For further information, we have here the definition of sentence. Everybody, please read. Okay, that's it. Therefore, even go itself with an exclamation point is considered a sentence. But if you want to write this in phrase, it might be like this. Go and proclaim the good news. Well, that is an example of sentence. Now, what are the elements of sentence? Very good, Miss Karajoy. It must have subject and predicate, the common elements of English sentence. When we say subject, it is the word or words being talked about in a sentence. Therefore, it can be noun or pronoun. For example, Mr. Venj Malu-ay would call her 3 students in front and describe their hair, height and beauty. The other 3 students at the back are going to write these descriptions on the board. I need 6 participants to be here in front. Group number 4, please join me here. And group number 5, you will be the one to write the sentences on the board. At this point, Mr. Venj Malu-ay utilizes his students as they are considered materials in classroom setting. Okay class, listen. I have here Miss Vanessa. Okay. Group number 5, please write it on the board. Vanessa is beautiful. She is bright and tall. Okay class, what have you noticed? In the first sentence, Vanessa is our subject, which is noun, right? And the predicate is beautiful. In the second sentence, she now is our subject, which is pronoun, and our predicate is bright and tall. Okay, another example. I have here Mr. Artie. Mr. Venj Malu-ay would describe the other 2 students in front and explain to the class the subject and its predicate, just like what he did with Miss Vanessa. Mr. Venj Malu-ay will proceed to the discussion of kinds of sentences according to function and structure. According to function, we have declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, exclamatory sentence. Whilst according to structure, we have simple sentence. It is a sentence that contains one independent clause. For example, Mr. Venj Malu-ay would call 2 students in front. The other one will be used as a material, whilst the other one will be the one to write the sentence on the board. The second structure of sentence is compound sentence. It is a sentence that is made up of 2 independent clauses joined together by a conjunction or a connector. For example, Mr. Venj Malu-ay would call another 3 students in front. 2 of them will be used as a material, whilst the other one will write compound sentence on the board. After this, Mr. Venj Malu-ay will proceed to the discussion of complex sentence. It is a sentence made up of 1 independent clause and 1 dependent clause or subordinate clause. For example, because the soup was too cold, I warmed it in the microwave. Next is compound complex sentence. It is a sentence made up of a compound sentence and a complex sentence. For example, the boy who is sitting on the front porch was one of my good friends, but we don't play together anymore. For abstraction, Mr. Venj Malu-ay will ask the students with an open-ended question about the topic being discussed. If for any reason the students cannot answer on their own, Mr. Venj Malu-ay must reteach the lesson. Note, this is generalized questions. For application, after an interactive discussion, the students must perform a declamation entitled I Hate It by Audrelin Oyuyula. The script is provided since it was already given yesterday. For assessment and assignment, the students are going to have a paper test work. In assessment, the students will identify whether the sentence is simple or compound. Then they must punctuate all compound sentences correctly. For their assignment, which is to prepare them for the new lesson, they're going to underline the adjective clause in each of the sentences given and identify the noun it modifies. To wrap up all the discussions being presented, Mr. Venj will let his students know that subject-verb agreement is a pivotal topic to be learned, not only because it would help students but also allow them to communicate effectively in English and be understood by other people, as English is considered to be an international language.